the baton to Nadya. I did not finish Hawkeye yet, but I know I was happy when Kingpin, which I did predict Kingpin was going to be here. So Nadya, go ahead. What happened with Hawkeye? Why were you disappointed? Go ahead.
So it was funny because like watching the show, I was like 6 episodes. Are you sure? 6 episodes. How are they going to tie this up? When I first started the first episode, I liked it. I had my little nitpicks. But it wasn't nothing too crazy at first. I was like, all right, let me give it a chance. One of my complaints like over time was like, Kate, like, why did they think she was Ronin? Are they retarded? But in the comics, the tracksuits are kind of oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to say that word. I apologize. The tracksuits are kind of dumb. So I was like, maybe they're just like emphasizing it, but it was like Ronin, like the show did no justice to Ronin. Like you have a little girl cosplaying in a Ronin costume and you seriously think she's Ronin. Like she went around the world a crazy assassin and you think that little girl is Ronin. It was dumb. I loved Haley Steinfeld. I thought she was fantastic casting. I actually liked the casting of everybody. The casting wasn't my problem. It's just like a lot of plot holes, a lot of things that made no sense. One of my other complaints was like the LARPers were ridiculously corny, and like I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, from New York City. I know maybe one cop that would LARP. Most cops would kick your ass. Like they didn't read like police officers to me at all. Like police LARPing in Central Park, it just wasn't very realistic. And I was annoyed that the only time they showed cops was, I brought this up when I was talking about the finale. I kind of broke everything down, but the cops don't show up until they arrest Kate's mom. So you're telling me there's no police officers in this entire series while they're blowing up a bridge, they're over here wrecking Rockefeller Center, and
over the tree.
Yeah, they knocked down the damn tree, and there's no cops. They're always heavily armed. Like I'm talking SWAT.
There are
like,
more cops around that tree than when anybody else come. Like when
if you call the cops, they're not coming. They're all at the tree. Like
Yeah.
I was like, it was just dumb. Like that was like my little nitpicks. But I was like, all right, I'll let that little stuff pass. But like there was just too much inconsistencies. Overall, I gave it a 6.5. The 0.5 is being nice because it did have like the fun jolliness. It felt very Home Alone, very like kind of felt like Spy Kids to me, honestly. Like I think my problem with Disney is they try to Disneyfy Marvel, whatever. They try to Disneyfy everything. And they had so many missed opportunities with the show. I was very upset with Kazi, with Clown. Essentially, if you know the comics, his character is, I described him as like Joker meets Deadshot. He is supposed to be a deadly assassin. Like you do not mess with this guy. He's frightening. He literally burnt down Clint's, like burned his neighbor alive. He's sick. He's like I said, like the Joker. And they did him absolutely no justice. And then he's not supposed to miss. Like in the show, he was a joke. His one-on-one with Clint ended in like 5 seconds, and it was like he just felt like a henchman. Like he was not important at all. And also from the comics, I'm a big Echo fan, and I think Alakwa, I hope I'm saying it right, Cox was perfectly cast. She was super badass. I loved her. Like when they first showed her, I was like, yes, I was like super excited. I felt like that excitement I felt with Daredevil. I was like, oh, maybe we're gonna get some like real combat. And then I was like, no, like she was another letdown. Like she was great herself, but story-wise, once again, if you're not a fan of the comic, anyone I've spoken to is like, oh, who's Echo? And I'm like, dude, she's the first Ronin. And like so many people don't know anything about Maya. And I was like, she's such a badass. Like I can't wait for her own show. Hopefully it happens. Rumor has it might be a placeholder. But I'm freaking hyped for her show because that's how I knew Kingpin was gonna be in this, because essentially that's her like father, you call him uncle, like tie-in. Yeah, so basically in the comics, she thinks Daredevil kills her dad, not Hawkeye. So they kind of changed that up, but that wasn't a big deal. But I knew that's how I would tie her into her own series. But going back to what I was saying, people that aren't familiar with the comic, this show did no justice to Echo. Like my friend was like, who is she? I don't care. Like, I'm not going to watch that show. But me as an Echo fan, I'm like, hell yeah, I would watch it. So I'm like, the show did her no justice. The show did Kazi no justice. They changed the whole thing with Kate's parents. In the comic, her mom like dies when she's young, but her dad is the one that raises her. So my problem with the show is that they didn't justify enough of her mom being a villain. It was just like, oh, your dad got involved in some bad shit back in the day, so I got tied up in this. They didn't establish her connection to Kingpin at all. They didn't say what she does, what she did, anything to really like make her a villain. I think Kate is a hypocrite because you're so quick to put your mom in jail, but Ronan went around killing thousands of people and you don't give a shit. And you guys literally blew up people on the bridge, and like you're gonna arrest your mom for like, not to say killing someone is good, but like for killing one dude that essentially maybe was to save your life. We don't really know.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like, not to coach up, but I said the same thing because if anything, I felt like they sympathized the mom as a character because she literally told her, she was just like, listen, your father owed this man money. Somebody had to pay that debt. I did what I had to do to save this family. And I was like, yeah, she actually did. She did what any parent would do. Why are you going to prison?
Yeah.
Like, that was
one
like,
time a cop shows up.
Yeah, you know, like that whole thing was stupid. Like Kate
had no emotion.
No, and it's like that, and that's another thing. Like that's your mom. Like even if you did feel like your mom was 100%, you know, like in the wrong without having the whole story, that's still your mom. I don't know anybody who's going to be that quick to throw you. The moment the mom said, "If something happens to me, Kate, you won't know how to take care of yourself," I said, "Watch they kill this chick."